Hi, my name is Greg. I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself as part of my introduction speech to the communication class that we're all taking. To start off, I was born and raised in Arizona. Didn't really get a chance to move and around a lot and see anything outside of Arizona during my childhood. I ended up graduating high school in Phoenix in 1998. After high school, I ended up doing odds, ends, and jobs for the next year and a half. Decided that wasn't really going anywhere. I wasn't really making much of myself. I ended up joining the Army. Completed my initial training in the Army at Fort Gordon, Georgia, where I then moved to my first real duty station in Darmstadt, Germany. I had a great time in Germany and loved the Army there. So I stayed in and moved to Fort Gordon, where I spent the next 4 years. During that 4 years, I did spend a year of it while deployed in Iraq. After returning from service in Iraq, I went ahead and moved on to Kuwait for a year. After serving that year in Kuwait, I moved to Fort Chuka. Served a couple years there, then Korea, and now to my current duty station here in Stuttgart, Germany. While I was in Fort Chuka, I ended up marrying my wife and have been married for about 6 years. My wife's name is Melanie. We've actually known each other way back as far back as high school. We've always been friends and finally developed it into a relationship. Together we have 4 kids. My kids' names are Trinity, Austin, Hayden, and Kaylee. My family, as far as activities we like to do, is usually revolves around outdoor stuff. Mainly here in Germany, we've picked up snowboarding. I've done snowboarding in the past and now have gotten my kids into it to where we all go to the hills. Being in Germany has offered a lot of opportunities to go snowboarding and check out different areas very easily in a short amount of time. Back home in Phoenix, where it's more desert, we all own dirt bikes and quads and have enjoyed the time going out to the desert and riding and come together as a family that. Overall, we try to do things that are outdoors. A couple times we have been out camping and fishing and other stuff like that. Also here in Germany, we have done a lot of travel to other countries to where it opens up great opportunities. Travel is so easy here and we try to take advantage of that as much as possible. Overall, I ended up taking this class to help develop myself better as a communicator. In order to develop myself better as a communicator, I realized I need to figure out what my strengths and weaknesses are. To be able to know my strengths and be able to build upon them better to get my message out will be definitely beneficial. But even more important in some ways, I think, is to find out what my weaknesses are. Without knowing my weaknesses, I'll never realize how I'm failing to get my messages to the people I'm talking to. Overall, normally, I am a pretty scattered person and a little unorganized, so I know my messages don't always get out the way it intends. In the Army, knowing how to communicate is a big function of my job, and it will definitely help me develop into a better leader, being able to communicate more effectively to both my superiors and subordinates. When interacting with my subordinates, need to be able to learn how to communicate with them effectively in order to get their messages to me quickly and be able to understand exactly what they want. And also, as a leader, then I need to be able to pass that message back down to my subordinates and be able to communicate exactly what needs to happen with them. On top of just accomplishing normal mission tasks, I need to also take the time to know my soldiers and to be able to develop them as a professional and also on a personal side. Every aspect of their life is important to me, and I need to be able to help them at any given time. Overall, one of the things that I wanted to do growing up ever since a kid was to be a psychologist. My family has a huge history of utilizing psychologists and therapy to be able to benefit themselves within their relationships and as an individual person. I've always admired that about psychologists and always had a fascination with how people work. So, I've never really developed that path to become a psychologist due to what really comes down to a lack of effort in school. I've now picked up what I really want to be able to do and got the ball rolling and got my education started to be able to focus more towards the psychology. As a soldier, I now have developed a bond with other soldiers to where I want to take that psychology drive that I have and be able to turn it into useful tool for soldiers to be able to use in the future. So that means I need to be able to effectively communicate with soldiers once I am in the position of a psychologist or a counselor. That way I could help them with their issues. Soldiers today have developed a lot of issues, everything from addiction to psychological issues. And I want to be able to be that person that gives them the tools what they need and to be an effective person back out in the community and on the battlefield again. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my video, and I look forward to a chance working with you guys all together in a class. Thank you.